Welcome to the Steelers Realm Podcast. And now, here are the boys of Steelers Realm.
The victory. Welcome back to another episode Steelers Realm Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, JT. Glad to be joined with my boys, TA and the Freight Train, jumping in together tonight to share in our thoughts on the victory. Unfortunately, Shane Mann, our PSF team member, could not make it tonight. So we're going to miss you, buddy. But we had a great night last night. How about it, boys?
Hey, you know it's a good night when we play the Raiders and TA comes on here looking like he came straight out of Compton.
Yo, baby. I even got the signs. We're down, man.
Victory, baby. Victory.
Victory
Peace,
Monday.
brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and we're doing another simulcast tonight, too. So happy to be joining those guys back again on the Psf app. Let's get this up there so you can hear me. Back on the Psf app. And so why don't we jump in with those guys right now and we'll get the show started. What do you think? You ready?
Hey, I'm ready.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Video up. There it is. JT in the house.
Ooh, turn the volume down here. Let's see here.
Yeah. Mic down your phones. Just mute them. There you go.
Hold on, JT. I hear you through both. Oh, there we go.
There you go. Good.
I think so. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Cool.
Still hear a little echo. You turn the volume down the whole way on your phone? You good?
Yeah.
Right.
How does it sound? Good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
A little bit there. TA, working on it.
Yeah,
How's your little blue button?
I don't have a blue button. I lost my blue button.
No blue button.
No blue button. Where did my little blue button go?
We're going to have to give TA a new nickname. It's going to be Freight Train and the Caboose because TA's always holding up the rear.
You know
what I think it is?
There.
Because I got to get the conductor going first.
Yeah, you do.
You got to get him out of bed.
You got you. Turn your volume down on your phone.
Yeah, I already did
Yeah, I
that.
already did that like 3 times.
Oh, yeah, you got to mute it. Sorry, dude. You got to mute it.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was doing.
That's what I was doing.
See, but it won't mute.
See,
now.
but it won't mute now.
Oh, close app.
Wait.
Give it a sec. There, see you.
Hey, wrong button, TA.
Hold on. I'm waiting.
Our technical difficulty curve is flattening out somewhat, so we're getting better at this.
Come on, TA. We've been doing this for 3 weeks. How are you not a professional at it yet?
I can't help but you hit the little
thing. It's supposed to come,
but it won't come. It don't mute.
It don't mute.
All right, what about now? Yeah, we're not hearing you on there.
No.
So,
Hey, there you are.
Where'd I go?
No, you sound better now. No echoes. All right, cool. We're all in. Watching the chat tonight. Victory Monday and bringing it to you here, Steelers Realm on the PSF and Steelers Realm podcast tonight, simulcast and 2. Hey, I was talking to Bubba, who hung out with us last night, and he said he was going to try to jump on as well, too, as some of the other guys. We got a great response last night, about 32 people hanging out with us during our maiden voyage of our live Steelers Realm cast of the game during and a little bit after. Happiness.
Mm-hmm.
maybe we'll just roll into off the rails depending on what the end result is.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's hard to do off the rails when the game doesn't end till midnight. It's like, you
That's
know
true.
what? I'm so mentally and physically exhausted from watching this football team that I don't feel like doing anything else besides going to bed.
Right. Was there too. I was ready to hit it afterwards too. But lot of fun. The best part of the game, last 5 minutes. So hey, they saved the best for last. I think Vegas odds makers and the referees made it a little bit more interesting than it needed to be or should have been. But we'll certainly tear that down and get all our thoughts on that. So don't forget, you guys out at PSF, chime in. Love to hear you again. And so let's go around the horn, just overall thoughts on the game. TA, why don't you start us off since first on tonight?
Man, I tell you, my overall thoughts are Percy Harvin. Man. Man, he's just dropping dimes inside that 20, and we're going to need that cat all year long. That's my only thought I have of this game.
Well, I have a couple more thoughts, but that is a very important one, TA. The battle of field position. The battle of field position. Because let's face it, TJ Watt is already team MVP, and we're only 3 games into this sucker. But my overall thoughts is
old Captain Splash.
Yeah, there's still a lot of things we need to work on, to say the least. I'm not sold on the offense. A lot of people that I've talked to are like, "Oh, it might be a step in the right direction." Well, not really, because when you looked at it, there was no really sustained drive. When we needed a sustained drive, it was not to be had. The back end of the defense is still kind of atrocious. I mean, I know Levi Wallace and Pat Pete both had interceptions. Levi had 2, but was it really in the right spot at the right time interceptions, or were they actually plays on the ball? So there's a lot of question marks moving forward from this. It's always great to have question marks after a win than a loss. So you'll take the win.
Oh yeah, no doubt. We got some comments coming in here before I get my thoughts here. Let's say, hey, shout out to Bubba. Yeah, like tackles blocking. Rich Smoke back on. How about them Eagles? Thanks for joining.
Get out of here.
Thanks for joining, Rich. Yeah. My overthoughts on the game is, okay, we made some progress. All of us were going crazy with some of the still, ineptitude areas of the offense. And, seeing, I tell you what pissed me off was seeing how bad Kenny got manhandled. They were over physically intimidating him. And I'm surprised nothing ever got caught on that. But, we need to work on our offensive line still. But it was good to see other aspects of the game. The defense didn't nearly spend as much time. I don't look what the final numbers were, but it didn't seem like they spent nearly as much time. We're a little fresher, able to, withstand some of Vegas's pseudo drives. But, able to get a couple touchdowns, his first 2 touchdown game. So, take the heat off Canada. Not for this guy, but I'll take the win. It's
the thing with the offensive line, JT. The thing with the offensive line is there is way too much of the zone blocking scheme and no man up road grade scheme. If I feel like when I watch these offensive linemen, it's like they get beat, they go to their man, they get beat, and then they turn around with their thumb up their ass. That's what I'm seeing.
Well, and I want to add to this because GT, you brought up some interesting points, because I know you're going just off the eye test. Yeah. But if you actually look and break down the numbers, I mean, Steelers had the ball for 30 minutes and 3 seconds, and the Raiders had it for 29 minutes and 57 seconds.
I'll be damned.
So when you look at that, we were that's pretty much dead even across the board.
Well, and balance, right?
And
Balance. And
yep,
we talked about that the pregame. Balance.
And then if we go ahead and we throw in that offensive line, okay, we had season highs in rushing, which was 104 yards we finished with. And Kenny was only sacked one time and hurried 4. So
yeah, but how much of that was because he was rolling out of the pocket, TA? How many times did we see that?
Regardless, what I'm saying is
but that's going to skew the number.
Well, those are so minute, just 1 sack and 4 hurries, compared to what we thought we saw, which was an offensive line that could not block, could not open up a hole, 3 and outs like it was giving out Pez candy. This is what's so frustrating and concerning about this damn team.
Yeah.
That's my point. And here's another thing I got to add. And then I'm going to let you guys take it. I'm just going to sit back and be quiet. Can anybody tell me what we're playing first? What are we playing right now? What is this that we watch? Can somebody tell me that?
This is put all the plays in a hat and pick one every down.
Nope.
Well, it's supposed to be football, TA. We're playing football.
So we're playing football. It's a game, right? Can somebody tell me why Kenny Pickett's not having fun playing a game? The defense is having fun playing the game, which is evident with all the splash plays. The way they're dancing, singing, celebrating, they're having a good time. But when I'm watching Kenny Pickett out there, he's not having a good time. His after post conference, not having a good time. Kenny's not having a good time. And if we're playing a game and you're not having a good time, are you going to be successful at that game?
Well, it has to do with the play calling. I think what it is Kenny's inability to call an audible. We talked about it last night. Like, why wouldn't Kenny audible out of that, this and that? Because he has no free reign to do what Kenny wants to do. It's kind of follow the leader. It's like a democracy. You know what I mean? Like, I think Canada doesn't allow him to do things. It has to be Canada's way or nothing at all, which is exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing nothing at all. It's pure luck when we score. It really is. I mean, we get a 72-yard touchdown up the middle of the field, breakaway, and you don't see it the rest of the game, really. It's back to the same old BS.
We're not having fun.
I'm not having fun watching them.
Well, you know what? How can you have fun when it's kind of disjointed still? I mean, we're still not seeing this gel. Kenny's running and running and running. I think his feet saved him from a couple extra hits. Not to mention, I thought one was a little late hit on him and by Crosby. But, that's just
well, and you bring up
they drove me nuts with some of the just some of the areas on the offense. But given this, it's a step forward. It's a step forward. Kenny had his best game of the season so far. Levi Wallace atoned for a lot of his ineptitude last week and early in the game this past game. But we just got to keep playing and gel together, man.
It's just to continue like TA's point with Kenny, like you look at other teams on their offense and you look at the quarterbacks when they walk up to the line of scrimmage, they're looking at the defense and they're moving tight ends from one spot to another because they can read that a certain blitz is coming from that side. Have we ever seen Kenny have that ability? It's always the movement is within Matt Canada's play call. It's not Kenny moving people around. That's what the issue is. That's why we're getting these, Najee can't find holes and he's got guys coming in the backfield as soon as he gets the ball because Kenny can't move his tight ends from one spot to another spot. He has no free range to do anything. That's why he's not having fun is because he feels like he's letting his team down and hanging them out to dry.
Yeah.
Is that the best you got, Professor Frank?
I mean, that's how I see it. That's how I see it. You might see it a different way, but you probably do.
All right.
For argument's sake, you always like to play devil's advocate.
You know what? Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to argue because I think that that's where we're all at. It's like, what do you take out of this game? Do you take out that we were successful throwing down the center of the field? Do you take that we had 100 yards rushing it and we stopped them to only 69? Do we gloss over the fact that we had balance and the time of possession was there? If it wouldn't have been for the 3 interceptions that Devontae Adams and what's that other cat's name? The other wide receiver torched us for almost 200 and some yards. I mean, what do we take out of this, guys? Jacoby Myers, that's what it is. Yeah. So, I mean, right there, 250 yards, 324 yards, total passing. Our secondary gets torched.
Yeah.
Torched.
I take it as, this is how I honestly take it out as. I take it as we beat a team that is right at our own skill level. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think this team has the ability to beat a team that's better than us. I think we can compete with teams that are on the same talent level as we are.
Bubba,
go ahead, JT. You're laughing, buddy.
I'm just laughing at Bubba's comment. Our secondary sucks.
I mean, that's how I perceive it. You know what I mean? The Raiders are a good matchup with us because they're about just as bad at things that we are bad at. Their play calling sucks almost just as bad as ours. Actually, theirs is probably a little bit better if I'm going to be totally honest. Their defense was susceptible. They had a good outside pass rusher. We have a good outside pass rusher. We stack up pretty evenly with that football team. So we just beat somebody that is at our skill level.
Yeah, that's a fair statement. I mean, we looked at the stats, the comparisons before the game and the pregame show, and we pretty much saw what those stats gave us. That, yeah, exactly. Can't argue that point. Hey, TA, your camera is not on the Psf app.
It is, actually.
Is it? It's not coming through. Are you seeing him, Freight Train?
No, I only see the two of us. It's just the two of us. Why does that always come up on our show?
Just the two of us.
And if it's any consolation, I can't see the two of you now.
So it's just the one of you.
It's just the one of me.
It's the one of us.
Because I am the lone
just the one of us.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, let's, yeah.
Hey, now you're back, guys. See, couldn't be
you're not
long. I'm not, but you are.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Bubba hanging with us, and thanks for jumping on again, man. Always supporting us, so please support the Triple B Experience podcast out there, and he's got a couple other ones. Him and Shane and Gang and Rich, who's tuning in tonight as well too. Big shout out to you guys. Thanks for your support, and make sure to support them too, guys. PSF as well on the Steelers Fans app. That's where we're simulcasting once again. So make sure if you didn't get the app, Psf.app, find it there, download it, join the Steelers Fans, and become part of the PSF Total Sports Interactive app. So cool stuff there. But yeah, let's move into some of the meat and potatoes of it. What do you think? Let's go. Let's talk a little. While we're on the subject of offense, let's talk how obviously George Pickens was double covered just about all night, it seems, or they did very well covering him. So, that freed the other guys up a little bit.
Just
2 touchdowns worth, obviously. That Pickens pass down the seam for a touchdown, very nice. And of the 2 passes, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, TA, the 2 passes that were tossed to Muth, one of them being a touchdown, but only 2 passes. Am I correct, or am
3?
I?
3 passes. Yes.
He was targeted 4 times.
Well, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. The one hit him, like one hit. It was It was a tough catch. It was well defended.
It's just like I love the fact that that actually came into fruition because it just proves another point of how stupid Matt Canada is that you didn't try it again. Like we kept saying, like the whole night, like it was covered too. All they had was 2 safeties in the back. Everybody else was playing up near the line of scrimmage, and you only do that one time.
And look, we even said it before the game, during our pre-game, the whole 9 yards. You're going up against a guy who we're familiar with in Spillane. And I don't feel that we went after him at all. Now, thank goodness he didn't have a great game against us.
No.
But I don't feel that we attacked him anywhere to what we should have. And I mean, and granted, I mean, he was a second leading tackler for the Raiders, but that was only with 7 tackles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just mind-boggling that he's that wide open down the seam and you don't try a similar play the rest of the football game. Like why? Other teams do. You always attack their weakness. Attack what's working. You know what I mean? Prove that they can stop it. Instead, we just stop it ourselves.
And you bring up a great point, Freight Train. What would have hurt to call that same play, but switch the players? So in other words, instead of Austin running down there, make it Pickens running down there. Just switch the wide receivers. Right. Or even for that, how about sneaking Robinson down there? Would anybody expected Robinson to go that far for a bomb?
No.
You know what I mean? This is the ingenuity that I just don't see, the creativeness that I just don't see out of Canada. It's mind-boggling.
Well, you're using your best wide receiver 5 yards down the field on the sidelines. You know what I mean?
Let's face it, we've been doing that with Deontay for the last 3 years.
Well, yeah. Just, and it sucks. I hate talking like this. And it's like back-to-back weeks where we win and it still feels a loss because you just have idiocracy coaching these players. You know what I mean? Like it's just I just don't understand it. I don't understand how the upper brass is okay with this. You know what I mean? Like the mediocrity and the stupidity of the play calling. This isn't Pittsburgh Steelers here. This is I don't even know what you call this.
Well, it's still lacking identity, man. Let's be honest. You know, we're talking about gelling. I was talking about gelling earlier. It still lacks.
But the good teams
continuity.
The good teams are starting to find their identity right now. We're still weeks away from that. It can't be week 8 or week 9 or later, and we're starting to find who we are as a football team. You have to find it early. That's what all the good teams do.
And well, despite the ugliness, we're sitting at 2-1, and both are divisional wins, one conference win and one divisional win. So, you know, I think the needles are heading up, but you definitely want to be playing your best football in December, though. So, things to work on. Yeah, certainly. What did Tomlin say? We got lots to teach. They certainly do. But, let's see more sustained drives. And that was kind of one of our bullet points we wanted to touch on. More sustained drives.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't think you have any teachers, Tom. I think you have a bunch of substitutes that are just going with the plans. I mean, holy cow!
And look at it this way: if it's any consolation, we got 2 more wins in the month of September than we had in the last 3 Septembers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that. See?
Positivity.
Positivity right there. We're walking out of September winners, baby. Winners.
Hey. Take it. We'll take it.
Hey, you know what else, though? I'd like to touch upon, JT, you said it earlier, Kenny had his best performance, but to be able to throw for 2 touchdowns in the same game. Say it's not so. I almost had to pinch myself.
I know.
Unheard of.
Yeah.
It's
When's the
unheard.
last time that's happened?
I know. It's kind of probably about the last time that Pat finally got used in the end zone to get a touchdown.
And the quarterback was probably wearing 7 and not 8.
It probably was.
Just thinking.
I mean,
how do you not see that dude more often open? How do you not see that dude more often open? Are we just not putting him in the right position to get open, or what?
Because he's the third option. We're still on the option train.
Yeah.
JT.
Kenny
has to go with the first read. I mean, you see it. It's plain as day. He's not scanning the field like a normal quarterback does. He's looking at somebody and waiting for him to get that little window open, and he tries to fire it in there. That's why some of these throws are erratic, because I think he knows he can't fit it in there, so he's just trying to throw it somewhere where nobody can get it. That's how I'm thinking. I'm not thinking this. I'm starting to not think this is an accuracy issue. This is Kenny just not wanting to turn the ball over.
Well, and he did.
No, and he didn't. And you might be right too, Freight Train. It might be okay. Number 1 is George. Number 2 is Robinson. Number 3 is Pat. Number 4 is Austin on any particular play. And that's where he's got to go. And you're right. Most would call an audible or send a guy in motion so you could see that defense transition and say, oh, wait a minute. Pickens is not my number 1 on this because of what the defense is giving me. Robinson, who's my number 3, is actually now my number 1, and Pickens becomes my number 3 because of the way the defense shift. I don't think we're there yet with Kenny. And I think it's pretty obvious, and Kenny knows it too. And I think Kenny almost feels that, I'm not a dumb quarterback.
Right. Yeah. And then it just sucks because when he is off, we're like, Kenny can't hit the broadside of a freaking barn. But really, most of those throws are Kenny throwing it down to where he lives to play another down. Now, the only problem is when he does that, it turns us into 3rd and longs every single drive.
Well, and here's the other thing. Minus up until this Vegas game, all the throws we're making him do have to be some of the toughest in the NFL and the furthest to throw from center to sideline instead of throwing a nice over the middle.
Right in front of him so he can see it.
Yeah. Right. Why are we making him throw away from everything instead of attacking everything?
Hey, the smartest man in Pittsburgh would be able to answer that question for you.
All right. So let me ask you guys something. We've seen some pretty silly calls. Anybody want to take a stab at what pass interference is in the NFL?
Dude, I can't even tell you. Honestly, I literally can't. And I was waiting, and I was like, you know what? I was thinking in my head, I'm like, they're going to allow the Raiders to get themselves back in the game, and we're going to lose on freaking stupid shit like that. And then the next day, they're going to try to make it all feel better by putting an apology out, saying, well, we missed this call. It actually probably shouldn't have been. I think what happened there, I think our defense should get a lot of credit because there was freaking 2 idiotic flags thrown on that last possession that they had to settle for a field goal. I think the defense deserves a lot of credit for not succumbing to the stupidness that happened to them.
They maintain their cool. I agree. I mean, I think the biggest one was the personal foul on the quarterback. I mean, everybody said that wasn't a personal foul. And what I'm waiting to see, does the NFL double down and fine Minka?
No. But did you see Cam's tweet today?
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised.
Exactly, JT. Don't be surprised if they don't double down on that. Just to say, no,
we made the right call. Yeah, we made the right call.
Did you guys see Cam's tweet about the plane?
No.
Because I don't know if you guys heard or seen that the Steelers plane had to make an emergency landing because the oil pressure in one of the engines went out. So So yeah, check engine light.
Yeah, check engine light.
So, anyways, Cam tweeted out that he said there's an emergency landing. I think it has something to do with the personal foul that Minka had last night. The NFL's coming after him.
Well, then he also tweeted out to Kelsey or Travis Kelsey and what's her name, old Swifter there, to see if they could give him a ride home to Pittsburgh on the Swifty private plane.
Well, I just thought it was awfully convenient, and the timing was awfully convenient for those series of calls by the official. For the first time in a long time, and I don't know how long in the game, the Raiders are actually in scoring position or had the ability to get down there and score a touchdown. And it just, I don't know.
Well, JT, the crazy thing is, up to that point,
good look there. Not a good look, man.
Up to that point, the Steelers only had one penalty for 10 yards. Up to that point, it was the Chooks call. They're like, whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. I know that the Raiders have been holding on every single play, but Steelers cannot finish the game with one penalty for 10 yards. That's unheard of. So I think that's when they started getting ticky-tacky. And then, of course, they got to reach the over-under.
Hey, Benjamin.
You know it's in Vegas.
It's in Vegas.
Yeah,
in Vegas. You got to get close to that over-under.
I don't work those numbers, but it was not a good look. Hey, shout out to Benjamin. Thanks for tuning in, man. I know Bubba rounded up a few that might join us tonight, so thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope to see you more often here and there. And don't forget the PSF app we're on now. Let me throw that out there. I don't know if we have that, but we'll throw a little plug out. I think we have a slide of them. Yeah, there it is there. PSF, Pro Sports Fans app. Good, interactive, totally all sports chat interactive app. You can find it there. There's a website, Psf.app, Psf.app. Join the Steelers group. And it's been a lot of fun. We are broadcasting this group tonight. So if you're on the app, some of us are able to do, stop in there and check it out. Chat with us on that. So, yeah, not a good look there. Getting back to wrap that up. So, what are you going to do? We still persevered. We persevered.
Wins a win.
It's a dub.
That's it. No beauty points there. But needles are moving up. So another point you guys brought up, and I'll let you kick this one around. Where are some of our rookie class?
Your guess is as good as mine, JT. I mean
number 24, a couple plays, but I don't know. How many plays was he in? Did you notice?
Less than 30. I'll tell you that much. He was probably in like the 26 range of snaps.
Well,
which
better.
Well, it was 20 more than Broderick got.
Yeah, 26 more to be exact. Yeah.
What did Bubba call him? $130 million man. Yeah.
And then Benton comes in. I mean, just like a freight train himself. That might be his new nickname. Back-to-back plays, he comes in, almost sacks the quarterback. He gets one sack, gets in the grill of Jimmy G on the second play, and then where's he at? They take him back out and put Montrevious back in, who I will say had some flashes in the pan last night, played a little bit better than he has prior, the last two games. I will say that. But you have these kids coming in and making plays and making a difference, and then they're going right back to the sidelines to a veteran that has been suspect the whole year. I think Levi Wallace, he had 2 interceptions, but it was almost like he was in the right spot at the right time, just like Patrick Peterson. You know what I mean? Devontae Adams could have had 300 yards this game if he wanted to. Joey has came in and played some lockdown defense, and he's losing time still. Yeah. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And then Dan Moore and Chooks are just absolutely terrible. What could you possibly lose by putting Broderick Jones in there?
That's it. That's it. TA, you're chomping at the bit to say something, man. I could just feel it coming.
Well, just kind of going back, we know we did do much better against the line, and Freight Train, you made some valid points, but again, just going off the numbers, forget the eye test, just going off the numbers, because the eye test and the numbers are definitely not matching up in this game.
JTTA is going analytical on us.
Yeah.
So just hold on. Just think about this for a minute.
I'm ready.
Canoe Benton. All right. One tackle, one sack,
French,
one tackle for a loss. Now, when you go ahead and you throw in Adams, you want to know the only difference there between him and that is Adams had 2 tackles. Now, what's funny is he could have had a tackle for a loss in the beginning of the game, but he tackled the wrong person.
He got the wrong guy.
He got the wrong guy.
Pancaked him. But
right. But then how about this? Obi-Wan Kenobi. Anybody want to take a guess on how many tackles he had?
0.
1.
Oh, I was close.
I mean, so when you look at our defensive line, 1, 2, 4, 6 with Marvin Leal, all right? Our defensive line only contributed 6 tackles, guys.
But yeah, so that's you're
all right. You're analytical. Who was the leader?
Who was the leader? Was Minkah Fitzpatrick at 11.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's where we want. We want our safety.
Yeah, our safety that has a sore rib cage to go with it.
All pro safety, right?
Mm-hmm. Where's the linebackers, TA? Where's the middle linebackers?
Hey, look, as JT likes to say, Taekwondo. He was second with 7.
Okay.
Holcomb was 4th with 5. Robinson was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with 4, and Elandon Roberts was 8 with 3.
Hey, speaking of Robinson, was it a punt or a kickoff return that he made a hell of? I think it was a punt return. He made a hell of a play.
Yeah, and he also got lit up on a run play too, if you remember that. He went back about 3 yards.
Yeah,
that was his bad side.
Yeah.
That was his bad side.
But I'm just saying, you even attributed to it by those stats that these rookies that are coming in, they're making a difference. It's not like they're coming in and we're giving up mass yardage or they're looking bad. They're coming in and playing great. Why not switch them out more, even up the snap count? Especially going in next week against the Texans, which they could absolutely eat. You know what I mean? It's an inferior team.
Let's put it this way. Because the defense is having such a fun time, I mean, and they are, man. You could see it out there. They are having a good time. I mean, we're leading in sacks. We're leading in forced fumbles. We're second in takeaways, tied for 4th in interceptions, 5th in a rate of opponent drives that end in a turnover. I mean, our defense is definitely on fire. Now, they are communicating. Well, they are communicating. They are gelling. If we can get these veterans to just tighten it up just a pinch and see these rookies kind of shuffle in to keep these guys fresh, because let's face it, when did we see Golden and Herbig come in last night? Do you guys remember? Did you guys even notice?
It was like the third quarter, wasn't it?
It was like late third quarter, almost the beginning of the fourth quarter. Now, don't you think that Highsmith and TJ could have been spelled way earlier than that?
Game was too close.
Game was too close.
They were still within striking distance.
They were in striking distance. I guess I don't know. All I can say is the eye test and the numbers do not match up with this game. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
So JT, let's go with you. what's your final thoughts to sum all this up? Because I can see you're sitting there, you're perplexed. You're like, damn it. You're right. The numbers aren't there. I know what I seen last night. So what's the disconnect, JT? What's your final thoughts on this game?
Well, my final thoughts are it's a step forward, boys. And it's a divisional win, which always goes, hey, Ralph checking in, man. No, don't say that TRAP word, Ralph. We'll be chatting up the Texans coming up on Thursday. We'll be kicking that around. But final thoughts, yeah, step forward. With our offensive line has got to gel better. We've got to get that going. Maybe the Texans game will be a good one for them to do that. Kenny, keep moving forward. I don't know. School's out on Canada. Did he atone? Everybody's saying, well, maybe, Canada silenced the Pittsburgh crowd a little bit. And for me, I need to see more out of this offense. I think it's too talented of players to not be scoring 30 points a game, guys. So that's my final thoughts.
Yeah, my takeaway is I really don't think we really took that big of a step forward. I think there's still an absolute complete idiot behind the steering wheel of the offense that needs to go. And until that happens, we will just get. And the thing that sucks is he's not going to go anywhere if we're going to continue to win. That's the thing. If we're still winning, they're not going to fire him. It doesn't matter what the numbers look like because it's all about wins. Okay. Tomlin doesn't care if we win ugly as long as we win. So until they lose incredibly bad, like week 1, like a couple more times, and we have to go through hell, that's when maybe a change will happen. And even then, it might not, because that's not how the Steelers do it. They're cheapskates, and they want him to work out his contract, and then they'll attack it after that's done. But I take this as we beat a team that we were evenly matched up with, and we might just maybe play to our competition. But if we play anybody that's better than us, then it's going to be an uphill battle. And we need our MVP, TJ Watt, to win us a football game.
Oh, man. How many times can we just keep weighing on him to save our ass, though? I mean, we've got to give these guys some rest, man. And that starts with the offense.
And that's why I said, why aren't we shuffling these guys around more? And here's the other thing that I don't think anybody from Steelers Nation wants to see. We have a very solid defense at this point in time. We cannot afford to waste their prime trying to get the offense to even match their production. Because at the end of the day, we're not going to win a Super Bowl that way.
Right.
And Ralph, I know Jason Garrett is available. I'm not sure he's a good replacement. If you ask me, and this will probably piss off a lot of folks, I'd rather see Todd Haley back before I brought in Jason Garrett.
Wow.
I second that motion.
He put up numbers, though.
Mm-hmm.
He sure the hell did, and he worked with a young quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger at a great.
I wouldn't
time
say young. He was getting up there.
No, think about this. He only had how many years did Ben have under BA? Think about that.
I would say Ben was probably what, 33?
No.
32, 33.
You might want to go back and look. Because he came in right after BA, remember?
Yeah.
BA was about ready to have him killed because BA was just
and then
sack or go.
And then we fired Todd Haley and we brought in JT's twin for 2 years. And now we're here.
Wait for it. My man.
Fichtner. When did you show up? Hell, I might take you back right now.
Oh, no, let's not go that bad.
Yeah, it's about that bad. Let's be real here.
Todd Haley. Ralph likes the idea of Todd Haley. Oh man, I don't know. Well, let's who are MVPs? Who do you guys want to pick for MVPs? TA, you're at top of the list. Oh wait,
Right.
let's do predictions first. I skipped on.
Oh, how did our predictions fare?
How did our predictions fare? Do you have the last one up?
No.
Let me bring
see
it up.
here.
See if I can find it real quick. I should have been ready for this. Sorry, folks. Hey, well, we got to break in the action. And don't forget the famous boys, Frank Nicotero and Matt, are going to be joining you and broadcasting this upcoming Texans game live here on the Psf app. So make sure to get the app ahead of time. Jump in with those guys during the game. A lot of fun chit-chatting with everybody through the game. But let's see. The pregame doc had us.
Are you ready, JT? I got it, buddy.
Let's go. Okay.
Shane was. Oh, wait a second. That was for the Browns. Shit, I'm sorry. Wrong predictions.
All right, back to you, JT.
Back to you, JT. Hurry up.
Oh, that's not the Browns. Go ahead.
What? No, it was. I got the Browns predictions. I gotta hurry up and find the
Okay. All right.
Raiders predictions.
I got it here. Hey, Larry. Yeah, we can hear you, buddy. Yeah, Shane had 24-17 Steelers.
Close.
I had 23-20, but I had the wrong team. Had the Raiders. Freight Train 10-7.
I was close.
What did Ralph have? 9-7. Didn't he throw his in? I think I heard him like we were chatting with Bubba. 9-7, something like that. TA 17-13. So it had Shane had the closest, right?
Shane had the closest.
Yep. Good job, Shane. By the way, he'll be back with us Thursday, gang. So hope all's well tonight, buddy. Sorry we couldn't make it. But yeah. So I don't know. I think we were all in a pretty good range. Realistic.
I had 10-7, JT. I was way off.
Yeah, well, yeah. 23-20. That's in range. Just wrong team. 17-13. So anyhow. Yeah, at least it wasn't 70-20.
True that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I'm glad I'm not doing the Denver Broncos side of things. Holy cow.
Oh yeah. This would be a rough.
You want to talk about ugly. Whoa.
No kidding. How does that happen? You're like, starting to do the math in your head if you didn't watch the game unfold or the highlights of it. It's like when I first heard it, I'm trying to envision like what was the scoring combination on that? Was it just like touchdown times 10? Or
pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow. You almost have the score on every possession, which sounds like they did.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go around the horn with our MVP. Get those out of the way. Yeah, you jump you off the Colorado mountains, said Bubba. TA, you topped the list for MVP, so lead us off, man.
I'm going to stick with the same guy I started with the beginning of the show. Old Presley Harvin III, 6 punts, 323 yards, averaging 53.8, 3 dimes inside the 20 for a long of 63 when we really need it the most. Mm-hmm. And let's not forget our man, the Boz, is 10 for 10. And there was a snap that Percy personally saved last night to make sure that Boz got her through the uprights. Go get him, number 6.
So who's your MVP, JT or TA? Because it's not MVPs. It's one person. You named 2.
He picked a third of the team there. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. And our long snapper nailed it. And so,
can you just say special teams? I mean,
I said Presley Harvin III, and I said.
Well, we said his name right.
I did, and I said, and him holding it and holding the ball for Boz, who's a perfect 10 for 10, and he saved a bad snap yesterday. That's only one guy. One guy.
Well,
number 6, baby.
You let into our main man Boz, who did this and did that. So I thought you were insinuating you were picking 2.
Nope.
Okay.
Just one.
Okay. I'm gonna give my MVP to Calvin Austin III. I think that was a good coming out play for him. He showed Steelers Nation that there is a middle of a football field and we can expose it and we can take it for long, exciting touchdowns and not a miracle play 5 yards down the field. And so I'm going to Calvin Austin III.
Oh man, there's a lot to go around here. I had kudos to Calvin Austin as well. I would have put him up there. My man Taekwondo Alexander playing tough, but probably have to go with just a TJ on the defensive side of the ball. I'm not giving Levi Wallace a pass for some of the ineptitude. There's that word again. Because it was basically right place at the right time on one of those two. That other one, it was a nice play on it. Give it to them, but lots to go around there. So, but just pass the ball around to all of them.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I do like the Percy Harvin pick too. So. Nice to see him on because last year was not pretty. And we're like, seriously? We drafted him when? What?
You know what I think it is? I think he actually lost a little bit of weight. I think he found the Atkins diet. So he lost a little bit on the front end. So his leg actually goes up a little bit higher. So he has a little bit more hang time and some boot to go with it.
Less resistance.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Newton's law of physics.
Yeah.
High speed, low drag.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He probably shaves his body too, so to reduce that drag even further.
All right, now we're just getting weird. So
yeah, okay. I'm talking shaving bodies now.
And it's just his nutsack.
Less friction.
He don't want the tiny curlies, holding him up.
Tying that up.
Oh boy.
Okay. This is definitely off the rails. Speaking off the rails. Anyhow, guys. Yeah. We're just about there anyhow. So looking forward to coming up, doing a little pregame with us Thursday. Take a look at what our challenges are. I'm just thankful, like we said earlier in the show, nobody was just the normal bumps and bruises, no injuries. A couple players came in and out, just got a stinger, things like that. Didn't hear really much on Najee. He kind of went out with a stinger too, but everyone virtually healthy, so that's good news. Hopefully we can build on that W for another one. So, gentlemen, good to hang with you, man.
Hey, 2 and 1's better than 1 and 2.
That's it. I'll take it every day. Good night, John boy.
What are you doing?
West Coast TA. Is that new sign language?
Oh, man, those are the signs of a champion.
Is that what that was?
That's what that is, baby.
You look like the whitest boy we know.
Hey, it's going to be coming to a video near you. Keep your eye open on a TikTok.
White man can't jump.
Yep, TA will be on next week with a do-rag.
No, we're playing
We
Houston.
gotta get him back.
Give me a cowboy hat.
That's true. It's the Texans. You're right. Yep.
Okay.
I know. I heard this thing about steers, but never mind. I'm not going to go there.
We are there. Good night, Steeler Nation. Careful in the hot tub. We'll see you next time. We're out of here.
Check back next week into the Steelers realm.